Some lady called DCFS and kind of made some claims that you had a child that accidentally shot themselves.
Absolutely not.
Come out.
My kids in here.
Okay, I understand that, but we have a search warrant for the house.
No, my kids are in here.
Okay.
Please. How many? 4.
This is a story that shook Rock Island to its core.
I have been living here for 6 years. My neighbors have never had a complaint.
A community blindsided by a horror hiding in plain sight.
I have 4 girls in here.
That's what I'm just asking.
4 children.
I'm not trying to blame anything on you. I'm not saying this is true. I was just asking. Okay.
This is nuts.
That's all it is.
Sushi Staples, a mother, stood accused of concealing an unthinkable crime. The body of her 10-year-old son, Zion Staples, hidden in a trash can inside her own home.
You don't run how we go. You don't. You're not in control of this.
Okay. I'm trying to see. No.
So I need your phone too.
My phone. That's not my phone.
Well, that's phone is taken. Hold on to that.
What began as a routine welfare check spiraled into a nightmare as police uncovered a shocking truth.
I just recently went through a situation where a young lady stole my identity and she falsely filed my taxes and my information and stuff like that.
The body cam footage captured every chilling moment, revealing a twisted secret that had festered behind closed doors. But how does a mother reach the point where she hides her own child's dead body? Let's find out.
Some lady called DCFS and kind of made some claims that you had a child that accidentally shot themselves.
Absolutely not.
The Rock Island Police Department received a tip in July 2023 from an anonymous caller who claimed that a child had accidentally shot himself and that his body was hidden inside the home of Sushi Staples. The officers arrived at Staples' home on the evening of July 25th, 2023 to follow up on these claims.
My ex-husband, his new girlfriend, this broad is off the chain. I have went down to Rock Island and filed a police report on her.
Okay.
I have went and put a restraining order on her.
What's her name?
Her name is Tony. This girl is never in it. She has so many different Facebook pages she stalks me from. She has made up different names, called me from different numbers. I have changed my number, tried to do everything I can.
Right.
Unfortunately, I can never seem to get them served because they're always bouncing around in the Chicago area.
Oh, okay. They're not even down here.
They're not even out here. And
Okay.
it's been a constant. This girl has made threats towards me on Facebook, posting her gun up, saying that she's gonna come to my addy. It's just never ending.
Right. So they made some allegation that you had a son and he shot himself.
Sir,
and he's in your
come on
basement.
now.
From the very beginning, Staples seemed defensive, attributing the allegations to her ex-husband's new girlfriend.
I get it. Just so I can check the box off, can I look in your basement real quick and I'll get out
No,
of here?
you need a search warrant to do that. I'm sorry, I'm not about to have my rights violated because someone makes Uranus allegations like this.
This short, tense interaction ends with the officers leaving the property, having been unable to obtain voluntary consent for a search. But this was not the end.
No, like I said, it sounded crazy to me too. I'm just up here seeing if, we have to investigate it, no matter how crazy it sounds.
If you want to do that, I would suggest you go through the proper protocol.
After their first encounter with Staples, the officers knew they needed more to proceed. The allegations were serious, and they couldn't simply walk away. Within hours, the Rock Island Police Department secured a search warrant, allowing them to conduct a more thorough investigation of the home.
Hello,
Yes.
Sushi. Can you come out?
What's going on?
Well, just step on out. I'll explain everything.
Wait a minute, my kids in here.
Okay, I understand that, but we have a search warrant for the house.
We're asking you for your cooperation to be up front with us.
Okay, hold on.
So step on out.
No, step
What
out.
side of the house do you all have a search warrant for?
The whole house.
The whole house.
On July 26th, the officers returned, this time with a warrant in hand. Body cam footage from the second visit shows a visibly more tense situation.
Okay.
Open the door.
We'll all walk in casually. We're not going to tear up your house or anything. So.
Calm down, my kids are in here.
Okay.
Please.
How many?
Can I see the warrant, please? And I can call my lawyer. Can I see the warrant before we walk any further? I'm calm.
We have a valid search warrant, so.
I understand, but you haven't let me see it yet, and you're walking through my house.
It's right here.
Staples opens the door, and the officers inform her of the warrant. As detectives and officers sweep through the house, the tension in the air is palpable. They search each room carefully. paying particular attention to the basement where the initial tip has suggested the body might be hidden. However, they don't find anything in the basement, deepening the mystery. Staples, meanwhile, is seated at the kitchen table, growing more nervous by the minute as the officers continue their search.
Do you have a son named Zion?
No, I don't.
You've never had a son named Zion.
No.
Are you claiming benefits for a kid named Zion?
No. I haven't gotten any benefits for anyone.
The detective leading the investigation asks Staples if she has a son named Zion, to which she quickly responds, "No, I've never had a son." The detectives press on, asking if she's ever claimed benefits for a boy named Zion, as there are records suggesting that benefits were being claimed for a child by that name.
I just recently went through a situation where a young lady stole my identity and she falsely filed my taxes and my informations and stuff like that. And I've been working with the FBI. I've been working with the IRS. There's been a lot of things popping up.
Staples, in response, starts to weave a complicated story about identity theft, claiming that someone else had been using her information fraudulently.
We had kids in the neighborhood come over.
So
Some of those kids that were implicated were not, in fact, our children. They were there.
named Zion.
I didn't say his name was
Staples.
Zion. No.
Well, somewhere here, we've got to clear this up with this Zion
Yes.
Staples.
Yes, and
Benefits, listen to it. Benefits being put in his name that you're receiving from.
I haven't
And
received
then,
any benefits.
and then also involved in this.
The tension shifts dramatically as the detective lays the birth certificate on the table in front of Staples, asking her to explain why it was found in her house if she had no son by that name. The camera captures Staples' face as she stares at the document, visibly shaken. She stammers, trying to deny its legitimacy. "That's not mine," she says, but the detectives are no longer willing to take her word at face value. The birth certificate, found alongside a social security card, was only the beginning.
I needed some extra help. Okay? That was it.
What do you mean by that?
I had a person that makes documents, and it was just really hard. Like,
So is Zion a real person?
no.
When pressed further, Staples admits that she had fabricated the documents to claim government benefits. It's a startling admission, but it only scratches the surface of what the officers would soon discover. As the hours tick by, the officers' search intensifies. In a grim turn of events, they're directed to a garage, where a large, sealed trash can sits hidden in a corner. With crime scene technicians on hand, the officers open the lid. And though the body cam footage does not reveal the contents, court transcripts later confirm the worst. The decomposed, partially burned remains of Zion Staples were found inside. It's a discovery that rocks even the most seasoned officers on the scene. Shortly after the find, Staples is placed under arrest. "This is embarrassing," she mutters, trying to process the gravity of the situation. After the discovery of Zion Staples' body in the garage trash can, the case took a disturbing turn. The police interviews with Sushi Staples revealed more layers of deception. Staples admitted that Zion had accidentally shot himself while playing with a firearm that had been left unattended in the house. However, rather than reporting the accident to authorities, she decided to hide Zion's body in the trash can, hoping to deal with the situation on her own terms. She stated that she didn't have the money to afford a funeral and was overwhelmed by the idea of reporting the death. Staples was arrested on multiple charges, including concealment of a death, obstruction of justice, and failure to report the death of a child. The courtroom proceedings began in early January 2024. Staples, appearing with her defense attorney, Haney Khoury, pled guilty to endangering the life of a child, compounded by her efforts to hide the body and continue receiving government benefits in his name. The plea deal was significant. By pleading guilty to this charge, prosecutors agreed to drop several additional charges, including obstruction of justice and concealment of a death. Even after Zion's death, Staples collected welfare benefits for months, claiming he was still alive. This fraudulent behavior showed a clear disregard for the law and a willingness to manipulate the system for personal gain. In sentencing, Judge Pagones acknowledged the tragedy of Zion's death, but emphasized the gravity of Staples' actions afterward. He sentenced her to 2 years in prison, the maximum penalty for the felony charge of endangering the life of a child. Records from the Illinois Department of Corrections later confirmed that Staples was released from Logan Correctional Center on July 25, 2024, just 1 year after Zion's body was discovered. If you're moved by Zion's story, remember the importance of seeking help during difficult times. Share this video to spread awareness and ensure that tragedies like this are never repeated. Subscribe to the channel for more stories on the hidden truths behind some of the most shocking cases.